there goes the lens. Oh, that is not good. Oh, look at that, it landed on the side of the lens. Actually, it landed there. Look at that, that was lucky. Oh, I didn't balance the tripod off. Look at that. How lucky was that? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I go off taking photographs of a very beautiful picturesque lake that I have only really just discovered, and it's not too far away from me. Do you guys ever get that? Is there somewhere near where you live where you just, it's been there all the time, but you've never actually been there to take photographs of it, or you may have gone past it and just thought, yeah, okay, it's all right, but not good enough to take pictures, and then one day you've returned there and actually got some really good stuff? That happened to me. My wife wanted to go to this farm shop to get some food. She wanted, I don't know, carrots and peas and chickens or whatever they do in there. So I took a digital camera with me and thought I would have a good old walk around this lake and see if there's any opportunity for shooting it on film. And when I came back and looked at my photographs, I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought, wow, this is actually really good. I must get back there and shoot this on film. Except the day that I went there with my wife, the conditions were perfect. The light was perfect, the sun was hitting the trees and the lake perfect, and I got really nice photographs. So I'd been waiting for a day like that again to get back there. Well, yesterday I was looking up at the sky and I thought, today's got to be the day. So I packed my bag. I took with me a large format camera with 4 sheets of film, Kodak T-Max 100 and Ortho 80 film. And also I took an Olympus OM20 with a couple of rolls of Ilford FP4. More than enough for me to get some nice pictures. The conditions were perfect as of when I left, but by the time I got around to starting to take my pictures, it started clouding over and got a bit gloomy. So I was a little bit disappointed in that, but I still carried on and see what I could get on film. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than my normal videos. I'm going to show you guys me walking around trying to find compositions and showing you the scenes and how I'm shooting these cameras, setting up the large format if you're interested. And as we go along, I'll show you the photographs that I took. I've dropped my bloody camera. I nearly fell in the water, and now my film's come off the camera inside the spool. Look, I just looked down as I was advancing. I thought, that don't look right. Look, 12 bolt loaded. And I also stumbled into quite a bit of trouble as well. More on that later on. So that's the scene that I'm looking at, but I can't quite show you the whole scene because this lens is a 40mm lens on this camera. In fact, I'll show you on the GoPro. Let's stick a GoPro out there for you so you can see a much wider view of it. There you go. Look at that, how beautiful that is. And I should get nice and wide with that camera. So I've got to go underneath this curtain and get my focus in. Once I've done that, I'll load the film and then take the picture. Real simple stuff. So on these large format lenses, I can open the aperture so I can see what I'm doing, so I can focus on the ground glass at the back. But I must remember to close the lens before I go and take the picture, or before I put the film in the back. So let's open the lens up. We'll have a little look inside. I've got a little loop here so I can see and get my focus right. And I've kept everything simple. Everything straightened out on the camera. Hello, here I go. So I'll just open up the lens if I can find it. There we go. And I'll get my focus. Wow, I've actually positioned that quite nice. And the other thing you've got to be mindful of is everything's upside down. So I've got a nice focus now. I think I've got a nice composition. It's in a portrait mode composition. All I've got to do is put the film in the back, get the cable release on, do a bit of light metering, take me shot. And these are the slides. I've got 2 slides that I use for this, or backs if you like, for this camera. One's in there, I've just pulled one out. This has got 2 sheets of film, and so has this one. I put it in a black bag to protect it from the light if any of it wants to try and seep in there. Close the lens off now. So I'm just going to do metering, real simple incident metering. 50 ISO, and I want to shoot at f16 at least. That's nice. Okay, 1/8 of a second is f22, so I'm going to go for that. 1/8 of a second, f22. I've got to be careful because I'm right on the edge of the lake. I don't know my gear going in, especially that video camera there. Let's get that cable. Actually, before I do that, I need to test the cable release. Yep, that's good. That pushes in and out. So 1/8 of a second, f/22. I'll just do a quick test shot while the back's in. Lovely. Let's take you underneath here so you can see what I can see. And there you go, it's in landscape mode. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's cover those holes. Oh, golden Bennett. Can you see that? It's upside down anyway. I don't think you can see it. Oh, I don't know. That's done. All I've got to do is take the back off. Back slide out. I'm all focused in, ready to go. Cock the shutter, 1/8 of a second, f/22, and off we go. That's done. Put the slide back in, and I'm going to do one more shot exactly the same because I'm not sure if this film's going to be tickety-boo or not. So I'll reverse the film holder back around the other way now. Slide out. Done. And that's it, and I'll use the other two on another scene, but for now I'm going to switch over to the OM20 and get some different shots. Now comes this bad boy, the Olympus OM20. I've got an orange filter on here, which is the same filter I used when I took my first shots the other day. So I'll give it a little clean actually, there's a little smudge mark on it. There you go, it's all gone. And I've bought out 2 rolls of FP4, but I'm only going to shoot one. And these are bulk loaded, so I've got probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 shots on each one. And so yeah, I mean, I'm just looking to try and get some nice photographs down here on 35mm, and I've just bought the 4x5 out as a bonus really. I could have got medium format, but I haven't got, I want to get wide, and I haven't got particularly wide lenses on any of my medium format cameras. So that's why I've gone with 35mm. So I'll show you guys the scene. So this is the scene, a little bit more close in on the large format camera. So this time I'm on a 28mm wide. What sort of shot would you get, guys? Do you like these reflections? Does this sort of float your boat? Sometimes I like it, but I don't like to overdo it. But like I said the other day when I came out for my test shots, they did look really nice, and I just love that tree if that could have a little bit of light coming onto it. But the sun seems to have gone back in the clouds again now, so yeah, it's what it is. The only thing I don't want to do in my shots is get these bushes either side. I find that'll be distracting, so if I can get straight across the lake, that'll be quite nice. So let's have a go. Yeah, it looks really nice, but I'm going to have to try and get these reeds out if I can. Let's do some metering first. I'm not quite confident with the meter on this camera. It is a little bit twitchy, so I may as well use this Taconic while I'm here, as I'll add it for the large format. Let's have a look. So I want to shoot f11. That's giving me 1/60th of a second, but don't forget I've got the orange filter on as well, so that'll bring me to 1/15th of a second with the orange filter. That's going to be too slow for handheld, so I'll have to put it on a tripod. Try and get as low as I can. It's always nice to try and get low, you know, most people take sort of from their own height. It's nice to get low if you can on these sort of shots. And there's another shot over there in a moment where I can get really low down on the lake. No foreground in at all, just water and background, which would be nice. So the kind of shot I've composed for is this tree and these bushes this side, just so I can not get all this shrubbery here in front of me in the shot. So that's the composition I've composed for. In a moment I'm going to go over that way. I'll get another different composition from over there, but we'll shoot this one first. Now my composition, I don't particularly want I don't want to centre it. I don't want the tree in the background and the reflection to be dead centre. I just want a bit more sky, or I can go the other way and have more lake, but I think more sky is going to look nicer. So we'll just come up a bit more. We'll take a second shot exactly the same. This time I'm going to get really low down, so I've just got water and reflection, hopefully. I've got a feeling I can get real close here. You can see this composition. If I get the GoPro low, you can see where I am. So that's kind of the composition that I've got there. Like that. How nice is that? Look at those reflections. I hope they're going to come out okay. 1/15, f11. Oh, the light's coming out a little bit, that might be quite nice. If that sun just comes out a little bit, I'll go to f16. It's not going to do much, but I'm going to take the shot. There he goes. I'll do one more in portrait, like I said. Do I want the tree bang in the middle? I'm going to have it over to the right very slightly. I don't want it dead centre. It'll just look too, I don't know, too staged maybe. Done. This was the same scene. I'm back in the large format. This time I'm going to go landscape. The two large formats were in portrait mode. I'm going to go landscape. So I just literally twist it like that. Look at that. How cool is that? So we'll go landscape this time, and back under the Superman cape. Get my focus in. On it goes. The focusing shouldn't really have changed, but best to check anyway. If anything, this is now for the composition. So let's slap this one into the back of the camera, get the cable release on. F16, 1/8 of a second still. Dark slide out. Lens is closed. Cock the shutter. Dark slide out, take the shot. Done. Dark slide back in. Right, we'll move on to the next location. Yeah, I like this sort of photography, you know. I think most of us, you know, why do you shoot film? Let me know in the comments. Why does anyone shoot film? I shoot digital all the time, so for me it's nice to just, you know, load a camera with film and take my time and just come out and relax and take some photographs with, you know, hopefully with the promise that when I get back I'll have some nice negatives. Maybe I can make a print in the darkroom and, you know, sort of complete the whole cycle for myself. That's why I shoot film. I just enjoy shooting film. Just relaxing, you know. There's no speed, there's no rush, there's nothing like that at all. Sometimes you get some nice conversations out on the streets if you've got an old camera or whatever. But yeah, day like today, just, you know, got some time off this afternoon, just taking some shots and enjoying a little bit of nature, you know. And the funny thing is, I'm vlogging on a GoPro at the moment, and I've got a mirrorless camera here as well that will take fantastic pictures, but that's not the point. I don't really want to take pictures with this. I want to shoot on film. With this, I'll go back, go on the computer, put it into Photoshop, do a bit of dodging and burning, adjust the levels or whatever, and possibly might make an inkjet print, and then done. This takes a lot longer, and I just feel like because it takes longer and because of the sort of creative hands-on side of things, when you get the final print, I sort of appreciate it more. Oh, very good. Well, look at my bag, it's so bad now. It was all packed nicely earlier. So I'm now going to walk off over that way. I've got one more shot in the large format, and then I can then just play with the Olympus OM20 and get whatever I like. I've only bought one lens out as well for the OM20. I've got a 50mm for it, but I've just bought the wide out, just the 28. That way I'm not going to be sort of influenced in thinking, oh, that might look nice on a 50 or whatever. I've just got a 28mm and that's all I'm shooting, so, you know, less to think about. Right, let's move over this way. I forgot the GoPro. There goes the lens. Drop the camera. Oh, look at that, it landed on the side of the lens. Actually, it landed there. Look at that, that was lucky. Oh, I didn't balance the tripod off. Look at that. How lucky was that? That was sticking out and saved the lens. Wow. How lucky was that? That's the first time I've ever dropped a camera off a tripod, I must admit. Huh. This looks quite nice. I've taken the orange filter off. Before I go over there, I'm just going to get a shot of this. This looks really nice. On the wide, that'll be nice and prominent in the frame, you know, coming right into your face. And then whatever is in the background is in the background. What was I? 1/15 of a second. I've taken the filter off, so now I can go to 1/60th of a second, which is no problem handheld. F11 1/60th. I do love a wide lens. It's probably my favourite, the 28. Because of this reason, you can get real close on stuff and let everything else fall off into the background. So your focus is the background as such, but it's just bringing something into the foreground that's of interest as well. Portrait, no, portrait or landscape. Oh. I'm gonna go landscape. Just nice reflections now in the background. And I'm focusing right on that life buoy. Done. There's some really nice stuff around here. Once I've shot this last frame on the large format, I'll get the OM20 back out and we'll do the rest of that FP4. This is lovely, look at this. How nice is that, eh? And luckily I've got a little ledge there so I can put the tripod on there, which will bring me forward. I nearly fell over. Bring me forward and get some nice reflections on water. A little bit of blue sky up there, but I don't think that's going to do much for me. Right, I don't want to drop the camera this time, do I? It'll go straight in the drink. I'm going to bring the camera down flat rather than on a tripod. I can get really low. Right, ditch that tripod. Take the plate off. I don't need that anymore, it's my last shot. Okay, so while this is balancing on here, there's no way I want to lose that lens, so I'm just making sure that that's on tight and secure, and it is, because there's no way I'm going to get that back if that drops in. Okay. Yeah, this is not easy, but we're getting there. Okay, there's the focus. It's quite nice. I've got crazy reflections going on here. Do I shoot over that way? No, that's much better that way. I've got to get this tripod camera balanced. I think I've got a focus there. So I'm just concentrating on these trees here in portrait mode. Exactly the same as before. F16, 1/8 of a second. F22, sorry, 1/8 of a second. Dark slide out. Take the shot. Hold the camera. Done. Dark slide back in. Large format, done. I was really lucky that the camera, when it come off balance off the tripod, really lucky that the camera, it hit the camera first and not the lens. I've got no mark on the lens at all, which is fantastic. And this is the beauty of this, 35mm photography, or even medium format if you've got a smaller camera. It's just so much quicker, and to get your shots in. The large format is a lot of faffing about. And if you're printing 5x7 or 10x8 even, you're not going to see much difference, I don't think, between the 5x7 format and this. Maybe a lot sharper, maybe a lot more detail, but to anyone else they're not going to know any difference between these two shots here. So I can bang a few shots here, get nice and low. Does my arse look big in this? Let us know in the comments, guys. I'm joking, no please don't. This is nice, this old rickety fence. Worth taking a shot of this before we go over the other side. You never know. Let's get closer, make it a bit more dramatic. Get a bit more detail in it. Some more reflections this way. So I've got this lovely big tree over there and a little tree in the background. Do I want the whole tree in? I don't. There's a bit of distraction to the left, so I'm going to kind of get a little bit of that tree in and more of the background in, but focus on that tree. These reflections, I'm going to get more of the sky in again. Let's go over this way. It's roped off, deep water, but we can get underneath that, no one's going to mind. It's around here. There's a little boat there, look at that. That's not worth a photograph though, look at the background, all them shrubs and bushes. It's just going to be rubbish, I'm not going to take that one at all. I'd like to, if that boat was near the lake a bit more, that would look nice, but I don't know, what do you reckon? Would you take that shot? I don't, oh, no. Even if I come this way. No, it's just ruined Boldham shrubs. There's another boat over there. But again, it's just sitting, it's not sitting pretty, plus it's blue. That's not going to come out looking very nice. The white one would have been better, but over here is quite nice. Or do I get some of that tree in? Do I get some of this tree and ivy and the lake? Let's try that. See how that looks. Kind of that sort of composition. What do you reckon, guys? That could work. Let's try that. Carry on over this side. What's over here? That's not pretty, is it? Tractor over there doing his thing. This might look quite nice. There's no buildings or nothing in the background, just reflections in sky and water and a tractor. So we'll wait for him to go. Damn, I've got a problem. I'm always running into problems. I think the film's come off the spool inside the camera. What a nightmare. I've dropped my bloody camera. I nearly fell in the water. And now my film's come off the camera inside the spool. Look, I just looked down as I was advancing. I thought, that don't look right. Look, it's where I've bulk loaded. And obviously it's come off its tape. I have got another roll of FP4 in the bag, but I can't open the back now because the film is exposed in the back of the camera. If I open the back, it's all going to get ruined. So I might as well go back and see what I've captured and and go from there. Man, let us know in the comments, guys. Do you ever have these sort of problems? I mean, I don't know. It's a bulk loading issue. Where I've bulk loaded the FP4, maybe that one wasn't quite secure on the tape. It's come off. I'll soon see when I open the back of the camera in the darkroom. Right, let's go home. Let's get back, see what we got. Oh, great. I've just realised my microphone's run out of battery, so I'm probably now going to give the audio from the GoPro. This is turning into a disaster. So where I bulk loaded the film myself, obviously I hadn't taped it properly, this particular roll, inside the camera, and I've already taken the film out of this camera, but this is just for a demonstration. I'll show you what happened. So there's the film inside there, let's say, and as I went to advance, I always check the top of the advance as regularly as I'm advancing, just make sure that's turning. Sometimes if it doesn't turn, it just means it's a little bit loose inside the camera, so you can just pull it out and just tighten it up a little bit, you know, and when you've tightened it up, it will get taut and you can carry on, and as you advance it will start turning again. But I did exactly the same when I took the shot and I advanced. I noticed that didn't turn, so I thought, okay, it may be loose, and as I started to do this, nothing was happening. So I thought, that's strange, and as I started to advance even more, watch this, the tape literally came off inside the cassette, so as I advanced I ended up with that. So the film was just there, I couldn't rewind it back inside the cassette, so I had to take the camera into the darkroom. I knew what had happened, pull the cassette out and then extract the film from there and load it into the developing tank. But I didn't lose any pictures, luckily enough. It just meant that I couldn't shoot any more of that roll, but I didn't lose much of that roll, probably about another 4 or 5 frames. And this is the developing tank that I use for my 4x5 film. It's a Stearman press tank. I'll just show you quickly inside how I developed the film. So inside you've got these little tiny racks that you slide your film into. So you slide your film into one side and then the other side, put it back inside the tank, and then you pull the other one out and do exactly the same. And then you develop the film, this 4x5, just the same as you would any other film with your inversions. I've developed these films in Kodak D23, which I make myself. So that's a Spearman press tank, but I had a couple of problems, one problem with one of the negatives, and as you can see there, I've got an imprint. It's the first time I've ever seen that off of the carrier inside that tank. Look, can you see the imprint? So that neg's, no way is that printable. It's my least favourite photograph anyway, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do any prints with that one. But the others came out looking quite nice. There's that one there. So they were the 2 ortho films. I also shot 2 Kodak T-Max 100s. You can see that one's come out looking nice as well. And that one has 2. This one I've still got slight, if you can see it, the slight imprint from that carrier. I don't know why that's happened, so I'll have to investigate and see why. Maybe next time just put 1 in each, so I've only got 2 in the developing tank, just to be on the safe side. Might take longer to develop, but you know, hey ho, rather that than get marks like that. And this is the drying rack that I used from Bit by Bit Photo in Texas that I got. Nice little drying rack for your 4x5 negs there. They're fully dry now, so what I've got to do is fold of those. I'm not going to do any prints with them. I'm going to go back on a better day because I don't think it's worth making these prints. But I'll do a contact print on one of those, and this is how it looks. I want to try and get a selection. I've got a few contact prints that I've made that I need to frame up, but that's the way I like to frame them. I think they look quite smart like that. Just contact prints, very simple, framed, and they look nice on the wall as well. So I hope that video didn't go on too long for you guys. I did have a little bit of trouble along the way, especially with bulk loading film, which brings me to the topic of that. You know, it is a bit cheaper for you to bulk load your own film, but you know, as I've experienced there, that's the first time that it's actually came off the spool. So if you're going to bulk load your film, make sure you do everything correctly, make sure you do it all right, take your time, and make sure you've got enough shots inside the camera as well, and the tape ain't going to come off during your shoot. That's the first time this happened to me. But with bulk loading, in my experience, I've had a couple, like the very first shot of this has had a light leak, which happened probably during the bulk loading process. You know, so it is cheaper, but you can mess up sometimes. And sometimes it might be best not to bulk load and just buy fresh from the factory, a whole roll of 36. But there again, if you only want 10 shots on a roll of film, it's quite handy. You can bulk it yourself and it's a little bit cheaper. But that's the first time that's happened to me. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, shooting a bit of large format and the Olympus OM20 and some FP4, having a few mistakes along the way. I'm not going to go in the darkroom with those negatives because there's nothing there that I really want to print. I'll more than likely go back and get shots on a much better day because I don't think those photographs really going to cut the mustard for me to go in the darkroom and make prints and put in frames. But I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless, and thanks very much for watching if you did watch till the end, and I'll catch you next time.